Hi everyone, it's Liz from Crafting with Nani. I see that Jimmy Lou is just finishing up on it. So we're just coming on 2 minutes early so we can get streamed into the Junk Journaling Jamboree. So I'm just going to watch her finish. Can't believe that I'm following Jimmy Lou. I am. And like fix my hair. So I'm just going to find myself on my own computer just in case I lose comments. And there I am. So, hi. How are you, Judy? Thank you for jumping on. So this is the Junk Journaling Jamboree's Journal Pals event, and I'm following the Messy Craft Corner. Ah! How do you follow her? Huh? So how's everybody's day going? Have you watched everybody journal today and craft? Everybody's done such a great job. I have to apologize for the lighting in the room right now because the sun sets right behind, like right there, right behind the window, and so it's like beaming through my mini blinds. So I'm doing everything I can to get the glare to stop glaring, but it's glaring. Hi, Lori. Hi, Linda Fletcher. How are you? Hi, Barbara. So I'm gonna turn the camera down and get going because we only have an hour. And I just want to thank Jimmy Lou for inviting me into this event. I always love doing it. She's the only event that I do is with Jimmy Lou, so it's pretty kind of cool. So I have the blue one, and I'm going to do Roy Rogers. And I'm going to put my glasses on so I can read comments. Hi, Mary Ferguson. How are you today? And Linda Fletcher, how are you? So we're going to tear apart this. Hopefully we're going to put it together, and we're going to do something really fun with the front cover. So if it works, everybody gets a little glitch every now and then, and we're just going to go with it. And I'm going to move that out of the way so I don't accidentally tear it apart. Now this book is really old. Let's see, how old are you? Actually, the cover page was ripped out of it. So I can't even tell you how old it is because there's no page there. But it is in a pretty sorry state. It's kind of ripping right here and ripping right there. Hi, Debbie. Thank you for kicking out my cow patties. I love that. And so I'm just looking for the staples. And if the book breaks, I'm going to be okay with it this time. Only because, I can't help it if it breaks. It's fairly fragile. I was even having a hard time seeing where the staples were on it. Oh, there it popped. So we got one to pop. So let's see if we can get the other side to pop. And like I said, it's missing the, that one does not want to come out. It's missing the front title page. I do know my books, but right now I'm having live brain like everybody else, and this one just does not want to pop. Okay, I think we got it to where it might pop, but I'm going to tear it apart really anyways, because like I said, the spine is broken. So hopefully I can get it to finish popping. I think I might have to just cut it. So I'm just going to cut these staples. And we'll do our best to get it to come that way. Because there it is, but we just couldn't get it to pop out. These staples are even super rusty. So if you ever have ones that have like super rusty paper clip or staples in it, just be careful so you don't have to run down. Thank you. And my daughter helped make these aprons. I just want to thank her for doing the artwork for it. And she sent away and had the labels printed for us. And so we have our 2 signatures. So I know that this is the front signature because, like I said, it's missing the title page off of it. And then we have our second signature. So now let's see if we can deal with these staples. And I got that one pretty much out, except for right here. Like I said, you don't want to end up having to go get a tetanus shot. And I'm not going to be able to save this spine at all. Look how rusty that is, if you can see it. It is super rusty. So don't step on it. And look at the holes that are inside the spine. Like I said, we're not going to even try and save the spine at all. The last book I did, the spine was in such great shape that I tried my best to save it. But this one, not so much. I'm just trying to get this staple out so I don't poke myself with it. And I might have to push it out. There we go. I'm able to grab a hold of it and pull it out. See, that's what I was trying to get out, is that little tiny piece, just because I didn't want anybody to cut themselves on it. So we got all our staple out. So now, trusty butter knife, that works really good. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with this one page. I might go ahead and keep it in there because it is kind of neat looking, you know. Hi Barbara, how are you? Hi Linda Fletcher, how are you? Hi Barb. How's your day going? Is everybody enjoying the Junk Journaling Jamboree? You know that if you just refresh after everybody, it makes it easier. And then after me is Hanging with Mama Hall, and then closing us out today is Christy from Christy's Craft Cottage. So now, this is my plan. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to split this in half because I want to add an 1.5 inch little spine to it. So we're going to cut this in half. That's why I was saying I'm not even really too concerned with this one because I am cutting it. And I don't even know if it will cut or if it's just going to, tear. So isn't it crazy how everybody has such different ideas on what to do with the same piece of material? I was even really contemplating making a tiny, tiny little journal with it. And then I changed my mind at the last minute because I thought, I just did a tiny book. So let's go ahead and do a normal size. So I have this. I want to add this in. And what I'm going to do is I want it to be able to bend on both sides. So I made 2 of them. Hi, Jimmy Lou. Yes, I am getting excited for my road trip. I can't wait to where I get to go and hug everybody and meet everybody in person, and it's going to be so fun. And I'm excited. I've been working on our little class that I'm going to show, and it's just exciting. So anyways, I'm going to glue this on and get this side drying while we flip it over to put the cover on. And I am getting excited. I am super excited because I'm driving all the way to West Virginia by myself in the car. All by myself. And if anybody knows me, they know that I don't know my north, my south, or my east, or my west at all. I mean, I can tell you that the sun sets in the west, and and it comes up in the east. So if I can see the sun setting or if I can see the sun rise, then I'm pretty good on at least knowing that. And my car doesn't have a navigation system in it like the new models do. So, but I do have my phone, so my trusty phone. So I cut a piece for the other side as well, because I knew this spine was in pretty bad shape. And I'm covering both sides of the book. And I'm sure Jimmy Lou is like, what in the heck is she doing? But I know that we all make journals different than each other, you know. Everybody uses someone's technique, and then somebody else will use somebody else's technique, and then I'm really good at taking a little bit of one person's technique and adding it to another person's technique to make my own technique. So that's how my brain works. As long as I can open and close this book, that's all that matters. I'm just wanting to make sure that the spine is good, and we are covering the whole front and the whole back, because this is going to split off if we don't cover it anyways. So, and like everybody else, we've been trying to get this side on the side of the cover that we want, and that's what I'm trying to do too. And I really do love this stripe though, but I have another plan, and I want to make sure that I can try and get it to work. So I was really contemplating, I had Roy Rogers to choose from, and I had Hopalong Cassidy, and then I had, what was the third book? Annie Oakley. And I was like, which one of these books am I going to do? Which one? Which one? Now, I do have some felt. I was going to put the felt down here, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to this front in a minute. You have to wait for that. And that's why I'm not putting the felt, because it'll get in the way. So I'm only going to put the felt on the back side of it. So I am going to move my cutting board out of the way just for a minute, just so I have a flat surface and I don't pour a whole bunch of glue on it. And I'm just going to, actually glue it down first before I cut it. As I think to myself, do I really want to do that? Yes. And I am not putting glue right here. I'm only putting glue around this edge right here. And I'm only going to put it around here. And I'm probably going to have to glue here. And then I'm going to glue here. And then I'm going to put a lot of glue on my spine. And I'm just going to kind of go down this little ridge right here, because it is so torn up. This book is so torn up. And I'm happy to say that my last book that I made for the Journal Pals is already sold, and the money has already gone to my charity, which is the Cowboy Church. And this one will be up for sale too, and I hope it will bring the Cowboy Church, I always do for the arena, so the kids can ride their horses in a safe environment. And I'm just going to kind of move this out a little bit, and this will all make sense in about 10 seconds. No, maybe. So I'm just going to flip it over, and I'm just going to press it down. And we're just going to try and get that stuck on there. And then on this side, I'm just going to flip it back over and see how it is. And this is crooked, just like everybody else's. You know, you try to get a straight line on the straight, you know, because it already is got lines on it. It's hard to get a straight line. just because it wasn't probably straight to begin with when they were sewing it on there. But doesn't that remind you of men's boxer shorts? It reminds me of men's boxer shorts. So we have our cover, and that's really what I wanted it to look like. I'm just going to kind of straighten that up a little bit. Now on the inside, I think because it is so fragile that I might go ahead and glue that down to give me a little bit more. Let me think for half a second. I was going to, I think I will trim off some of it so we can use some of this maybe for a pocket. Or maybe I could put my green in and then flip that over, and that would be a really cute pocket. So let's see if we can do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this over like this, and this is going to be my inside pocket if we can get it to work. So, hi Janet, how are you? Hi Rebecca, hi Kathy, thank you for coming in. If you're new to my page, my name is Liz, and we live on a ranch with, there's 4 generations that live on the ranch. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this on here, but I do want to cut it. Let me get my good scissors, because there's no glue on it yet. And I'm just going to trim it. It really doesn't have to be precise because it's getting covered up. But I would like it as straight as I can do it. And I want to make sure that I don't get any glue on those scissors. So I am going to pop down the glue on this. And I have a new bottle of glue sitting over there ready to go. This one is almost completely out. So in the comments, if you can you put down who, have you seen everybody today? Or who did you miss out that you'll have to go back and watch on a replay? I was able to watch everybody from work. It was kind of a slow day for customers inside the store. My daughter has a little children's boutique store. And so we didn't have any walk-in customers today. It was just online stuff. So I was able to watch everybody. I missed the first few minutes of Jimmy Lou's because I had to drive home so I could get here and go on. So I had to get my horse fed, and you know, we're on a ranch, so we got to do our chores. This is crafting, and so I'm just putting that down just to give us some, you know, some padding. And I was, like I said, I was going to put this on the other side, and I'm not going to because we're going to make like, has anybody ever done the busted out frame, like the busted out canvas? That's what we're going to do on the other side once we get this part glued in. I have this beautiful green that I'm going to cut to fit inside here. And I'm almost thinking this might be cute laid out to frame it, since we have the frame. And I think we're going to try and do that. So let me go ahead and cut this down to size. Well, we're going to do a busted canvas on this because I want to be able to see the cover. And I've never done it before. I mean, I've done it on a busted canvas before, but I've never done it on a book. So hopefully we're going to be able to make it work. Everybody's done something a little bit different today, and which is kind of fun, you know. It's like, why not? Why not do something different? Okay, we're moving our good scissors now. And then I kind of like, this is going to come up and make like a pocket here. So let me see if I want to, yes, I do want to do that. Okay, so let's glue. I can't move. I was gonna scoot the book over, but it's already glued down, so that's silly. So I'm just going to add a bunch of glue onto this, and it really doesn't like to spread on this fuzzy stuff. We're going to do our best just to get it on in there. And I'm going to go on the spine, and then I'm just going to take my little paddle here, and just so we don't have those ridges that we're not going to feel, you know, with this material is really thin, this green. Well, so is the quilt, actually. This quilt is probably aged. I mean, it's probably, I would have to say it's probably early 70s, if not earlier than that. I think it does look like it was done on a sewing machine. Someday I have to show you guys, my grandmother was a seamstress. And she was known for making men's white shirts, you know, with the pointed collars and all that good stuff. She worked for Sears, and back in the day when they first had those shirts and stuff, and she was, I don't know, I guess good at it, you know. She always made all our clothes when we were kids and stuff. And but her mother, which I never met my great-grandmother. She died before I was born. But she made a quilt by hand. Everything was done by hand on it, of my mom's baby dresses. So every single one of them were sewed by hand. But she died before she got Lou Gehrig's disease and wasn't able to finish it. So I have it in this state, where it's just put together like this. It's not backed. And someday my goal is to get that thing finished. But I don't want to ruin it by using a machine on it. And I don't know how to do it without by hand. So that's why it's not finished yet. I'm just going to kind of roll this in a little bit so we have a cleaner line. And we're just going to see if we can get this to fold over. I don't know. I might be picking glue off my hands for decades, but it's all right. And I might put some lace over it if it doesn't work. I just wanted to see if it would. So on this side, I've got to get my camera up higher. We're going to actually roll it. There's more room to roll on that side, so we have more room on this side. And I want to get over to the busted canvas side, so that's why I'm hurrying up on this side so much, because the fun part is what we're going to do next. And I'm not sure how far we're going to get, if we're going to get it all the way sewed in or not, because I really want to spend some time on the cover. So let's go ahead and see if we can fold this down. And all I'm doing really is just making a picture frame, like if it was a canvas. And I probably should have cut some of the bulk out, but this material is so thin. So I'm gonna go ahead and just glue a strip right here. Maybe. That might have been the end of this glue bottle. So let me get the new one out. Sorry for my reach. But like I said, it was pretty close to being out. And we're just going to put a stream of glue across. I don't even know now if this is the top or the bottom. Hopefully I have it the right way. Hopefully we have this the right way. We'll know when we bust it out if it's going to be the right way or not. And I probably should have used some pens, but I didn't. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this glued in. I have faith in me that it's going to work. I am going to trim a little bit of this because it is pretty bulky right here on the corner. We'll get this all glued together, and then on this side, trying to see if there's anything that's telling me that I have this the right direction, but I didn't turn anything around, so I should be good. I am going to snip off a little bit of this corner, and I'm going to snip off a little bit of this corner because we're going to make a pocket out of it. And we're just going to bring this up, and I'm just going to glue this down on this side. Hi Maritza, you're not late. It's okay. We're just trying to get this covered so we can play with what we're going to do on the front of it. And I'm just making a pocket out of the rest of the fabric that we got from Jimmy Lou. Let me go ahead and put some more glue down here. Isn't it funny when you're like thinking of ideas, and especially like when you're going to be in an event and you're like, oh, I hope nobody does what I'm going to do. And I'm thinking, well, I don't think anybody else is going to do Roy Rogers. But it's so funny on how, you know, we're like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And most of the time we don't really tell each other what we're doing. So I'm going to go around and I'll probably add some more lace to the corners and clean that all up and make sure that it's all perfect before it's all said and done. But now we have our pocket, and I am going to put just a tiniest little bit of glue right there, just so it kind of lays. And it looks like I need to trim a little bit more off of that. And we'll add some more glue when we need to. Okay, here comes the fun part. Let's hope this book is not upside down. I'm going to put the glue on there. And what we're going to do is we're going to get our ruler and kind of cut this. I'm going to cut it apart. So if it doesn't work, guys, oh well. Everybody cross your fingers. I would do like a X-Acto blade, but I don't want to cut the cover. So I'm just using my little scissors here. And we're just cutting. And I don't know if anybody's done this before on a book or not. So if you've seen somebody else do it, let me know, because I've never seen anybody do it on a book like this. I mean, I have made the, like I said, I've made the busted out canvases before, but I've not did it through a journal. Hi Yvonne, how are you? How's your day going? Today is technically my Friday, because I don't work on Fridays, so I'm off for the weekend now. So I'm just, really don't need the ruler anymore because I'm not really staying on point. So all I'm doing now, can you see, is I'm going to bust this out, and we're going to be able to see that you can't really see Roy Rogers up there. See if I can take it up a little bit more. And I'm going to go ahead and bust out this corner just a little bit more. Like I said, if you've seen this from somebody else, let me know, because I'd love to go back and watch how they did it to see how far off I am from it. And then I am going to, so there we can see Roy Rogers now. And I want this to, now normally if you did this on a canvas, you'd roll this up. So I'm going to do my best to kind of roll it. And I'm going to add a little bit of glue, I think. And then let me just add a little bit of glue along the top. And like I said, we might have to, you know, get the hot glue out before it's all said and done. We might have to like put some rivets in it. That would be fun to do. We could rivet, you know, the edges. And I'm okay with not getting this whole thing done because I know I'm not going to be able to get the whole thing done in an hour. There's just no way. We've already gone 28 minutes. I'm just going to roll that up like that. And I'm going to put some. I thought it was a kind of a neat idea in my head. So I'm like, you know, it's so funny when you think what, you know, because I know all of us creators, you know, we're always constantly creating in our heads, even when we're not like working on it. And I thought, oh, I wonder if I could do a busted out canvas. And actually, to be truthful with you, I was watching Jamie's show last night, Just Crafting with Jamie too. And she was making a card, or she was making, I don't know what she was making. But anyways, she was trying to make, I think, like a picture frame. So she did that cross in the middle. And when she did that cross in the middle, that's when I got the idea to do this canvas. And I even texted her, I mean, I put in the messages last night. I go, oh, you just gave me an idea. And then I wouldn't tell anybody because half of you guys watch her and watch this, and I didn't want to give my secret away. So I didn't tell, but I'm just like, you gave me an idea. So that's when I got this idea to do this, was last night watching Jamie. So, you know, you can be creative anytime, anywhere. You know, driving down the road, you can get a creativity, and you're like, your mind just goes. And I love that it's not smooth. I mean, I love the texture that it's given us. And I have more glue on me now than I think I've had in a long time. So I have this rope. I think it came from, it's Park Lane. And I thought that would be kind of cute to make, like, you know, Roy Rogers, he's got his lasso right there, you know, kind of deal. And so I thought it would be really cute to, like, add this, like the ropes to the edges right here. So this is what I'm going to do. My problem is I'm not quite sure if I want to do that before we sew in the signature or afterwards. But I think we can still do it. Let's just go ahead and put one side on, and then we'll get the signature going, and then we can finish it up. But I just wanted to show you guys what I was going to do. In case it didn't work, I had time to make something else. Like I said, I have 2 more books over there I could have done. You love it, Cindy? You like it, Penny? I love it too. Thank you, Mary. So that's going to stick to me. So that's what my concern was, that it's not going to hold in there. So we're going to take this now, and I'm just going to kind of let it sit itself over there for a minute, and then we're probably going to have to fuss with this, and that's okay. You know, after we get the signatures sewed in, we can fuss with the pockets and get that all laid out. But I think that it came out exactly what I thought it was going to do in my mind, and I love it. I'm glad. I love it when it works. And even if it didn't work, we would have figured out something, you know. So let's see if we can build the signatures. And then we'll carry on with all of the cute putting it all together. So I do want to give a great shout out to, well, I call her my personal artist, Miss Lisa Siegel. So I'll be using some of Lisa's printables from Vintage, I think it's called Vintage Roots Digital Design. So I'm going to be using some of her prints. And then I was gifted a bunch of stuff from Carol, and I'm going to use some of her stuff that she sent. She sent me a little bag of goodies, and it just so happened to be perfect stuff to go inside of this journal. So I want to say her name. I think she pronounced it Stenson, but I could be saying that wrong. But she sent me a bag, and it had all kinds of cute stuff in it. So I have some coffee paper that I got, I think, from Jimmy Lou. I have some of my own dyed papers from the red dirt dye that we can use in here. And I have a couple of bags from our pharmacy. So let's see if we could build a signature. Let's get our cutting board back up. Now now maybe my heart can slow down a little bit because we got the cover done, and that was the most important thing to see if it was going to work. So I have all of these pages, and I got that, and I got this, and I think it's 2 signatures, so I think we'll just go ahead and keep it 2 signatures. I wasn't sure about that. I was going to have enough, and I'm not even going to worry about whether or not sizes are exactly or not. And I have all of these cute little papers that were gifted to me. And we're going to try and put a couple of them in. And I have some more stuff over there that we're going to use. And look, she sent a whole bunch of stuff that was already cut out for it. And I'm going to use those. So I don't really want to use the sweater. It's a beautiful print. And the china is just not with the air. So I'm not going to use those. I probably will use this chicken though. It's cute. It just needs to be trimmed down. So I'm going to trim a little bit of the white off. And I don't want to trim his cone off. And I've got something stuck in there, of course, always. I like different papers, and some papers have more fibers in them than, other papers. So I'm always getting fibers inside of there. And I like this one black paper, but boy, I tell you, the fibers that come off of that paper. Lay down. My dog is roaming back and forth, back and forth. I'm sure he feels my heart pacing, because I was really anxious on whether or not this was going to work. Okay, we got to trim off the bottom. Our pages are only no more than 8 inches. So this was probably 8.5. So we're going to have to trim off of every one of the other pages. So we'll put that, and I think because this first page, I really kind of wanted that cone. But that's cute. I think I'll just glue that onto this page right here real quick, so it'll be, and then that I'll kind of make that page. Do I want to do that? I think I want to do that. So let me just glue this on real quick. And that way it can be drying, and it'll be like the page was just made that way. So we're just going to do that, and I'm just going to butt it up as close as I can. Boy, look at all the glue on my hands. So now that page is part of that. Not so straight, but that's all right. Kind of push it a little bit. That's why I like art glitter glue, because sometimes you can move it if you're quick. Most of the time you'll have to put more glue. Okay, so we have our first page in there. So, and then this is the first page of the story. What I didn't grab was any vellum, because normally I like to put vellum in, but I didn't grab any. And this is plenty wide enough. And I didn't check to see am I going to have to cut down? We're going to have to cut the pages down. Either that or we're just going to put a really wide piece of lace. And I think that's what we're going to do. We're just going to add a really big piece of lace so I don't have to cut pages. That's what we're going to do. We'll put this piece on, and it's this wide, so we'll add that when I'm done putting the sewing in. So I'm not going to worry that these pages, because if not, I'm going to have to cut every one of the story, and I don't want to cut the graphics off. So I think I'm going to be okay with having that lace stick out if I could find the end of it. There it is. Then this is really old vintage lace that my girlfriend sent me. And I think that'll be really pretty hanging off the edges. The perfect color, it's like it's aged perfectly. So we'll add that, and that'll hide any papers that are coming out. I'm just gonna move that pen so I don't stab myself. So I have that, and we're gonna add this page. And we have some doily here that I put some red dirt on from the ranch. We'll put that in. And we can, this is the center already. See, there's only a couple of pages. So I did print some of Lisa Siegel's pages, so I'm going to put that in. And I do have another coffee filter paper. You can add. And then we have our, I do need to trim off the edge of this. And I love our drugstore has such old-fashioned bags that I just love how they look. So I try to put those in, but I don't want it right there. So let's sneak it in over here. And a lot of times I make mine so fat and chubby that I think sometimes it might be okay to not have it that fat. So we have 1, 2, let's find something to put in here. And I have this paper. I only think I have one of those papers over here that's this color. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're gonna have to find a couple more pages to put in here. Hi Carol, I'm using your stuff that you sent me. Hi Raquel, how are you? Oh, I have some more papers right down here. We have some music paper that we can use. We got some, I have a problem. I know you do you, I'm gonna do me. I just have a problem with my words going the wrong direction. I'd rather have a skinny page in my book that the words are going the right way than to not have it sideways. So I'm okay with it being skinny. And it is a little too tall though, so we have to make sure that's, we're gonna have to cut off a little bit of the bottom. Because we can't have it. Oh, you're back? Oh, where'd you go? Dinner? No. You've been busy, Jimmy Lou. It's so nice of you to host this for us to do. And like I said, following me is Carrie with Hanging with Mama Hall. And like I said, I'm okay that it's sticking out because we're adding the lace. I'm not going to fret about that. I'm just trying to find some more cute pages to go in here. We got this writing paper here. So let's trim it down because we know that we have to trim this white off because I don't like white on my paper. But that's a me thing. I was so worried about seeing if that would work that I really didn't pull enough pages out of my area here to to make my signatures because I was so excited about doing the cover that I didn't care too much what was going in the book. I guess my mind was like so curious on how it was going to be. I lost a page. I'm like, what happened? There we go. And I keep the book intact, right? So where are we gonna, this has got some blue on it, so let's put that there, and that'll bring out the blue on this page. So I lost track of how many pages I have, so let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we need to find at least 3 more pages, right? Somewhere on my desk. This is a cute barn. I can use this. I am super excited about this. And I'm super excited for my drive to West Virginia. I'm going to get to see my aunt. She's turning, I think she's going to kill me if she hears me saying this out loud. So, Aunt Janet, if you're on, don't listen. But she's turning 85. So I am going to go see my aunt for, you know, I regret not going and seeing my uncle. And he passed away before I got to go, before I made my last trip. And I love this sheep that we're going to put this one in. And I'm going to make this one a little off center because this sheep is right in the center of this page. And I don't want that. So I'm going to have one side a little smaller than the other, which is fine with me. So I'm going to, I think I'm going to fold it this way. And then we'll just have a little bit peeking out. So let's get this one here. And okay, let's set this one aside now. And we'll see if we get the other one. So how's everybody's day going? Is everybody excited to see what Mama Hall's gonna do? I wonder if hers is going to have a pickle in it. No. So I'm going to cut this one down. I don't know how she got on the pickle kit, but she did. And it's like, you know, when you tell somebody that you, I collect chickens, for instance. And everybody, you know, always gives you chickens, you know, kind of stuff, you know. So it's like, I wonder if people send her pickles. You have to be careful what you tell people sometimes. Next thing you know, for the next 20 years, you're going to get chickens or pickles or something like that for Christmas. But I don't really mind because I do love chickens. And we have this page, and we'll go ahead and put this in there. And that doesn't seem right. See, this page, oh, you know why? Oh, that doesn't make sense. I wonder why it separated. This book is so old that the page separated. Someone down, the stars picked out, and wow. I must have another page that's separated somewhere else. I've never seen that happen before. Say WWJD. What would Jimmy do? How can I have an extra page? It doesn't make any sense. That's a whole page, and this is a whole page. And this is a whole page. So did my book just have an extra? Did I just rip apart a book that's worth $1 million because it had an extra page? And if I did, what am I going to do with this page that has nothing to attach to it? Yes, you like penguins. I love Deb. I love chickens. I'm just in a quarry on what I'm going to do with this page that I don't have something to attach to it. So I tell you what we're going to do. We're just going to fold this over a little bit so we can sew it in. Because if not, I'm not going to be able to sew it in because it's just laying there. I've never seen a golden book that had an odd number page in it. This one does. So I'm just going to do that, and it's okay that it's smaller than the other one. At least I think it's okay. I don't know. I'm talking about chicken. Let's add a chicken. So we're just going to have to make sure that that stays like that. That's weird that it had an extra page, isn't it? What do you guys think about that? Yeah, that's what I kind of did. And then I'll add something to the other side of it when we're done. I'll add like a flip, like a flip thing. Actually, you said that, and I do have, I forgot to put one of these in, and I wanted to put one of them in. I'll put this in. And I need to add that to the other one. So let me do that real quick before I forget. Because you know, you get busy thinking and you don't. I'm just going to stick this in right like that. Just so I almost was thinking that it was torn off from that one, but it can't be because it was in this signature. They didn't cut this, so I need to cut that. How's my time going? Okay, we still have... Woo! My doggy's got some gas! Whew. We might have a code coming pretty soon. Oh boy. He's purebred too. He should not have that gassy of a tummy, but he sure does right now. Okay, so we have a couple more of these pages that came from Lisa. I'm going to add them, and I think I'm going to flip them so I can make pockets out of them. And we'll add these barns in here. I think the guy's here to pick up my golf cart. I hear noises outside. That's okay. I don't need my help. This is a double-sided one I was able to print. And we'll see. And this one I'm going to flip so they can back each other up. And we'll put that on this side. And we have our center. And we can put this ranch in here. Okay, so let's count this one. I feel like I'm missing something in there. I have this page. So let's put that here for right now. Well, I was excited, and now I have to like calm down and think. Yeah, he's that breed. I was gonna say, it's usually labs that, tell ya, labs have gassy stomachs. We've had a lab. My service dog I had, well, she wasn't really she was my service dog, but it wasn't like trained like your dog is going. She had some gassy gas. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we have 17 in this one. So we might be able to take something out of this one and put it into this one because this one was lighter. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So let's take 2 pages out of here and add it to this one. And this one actually had an extra page in it, remember? Because we had that weird page. So I guess we'll have to live with that. Let's see if I can find one more page real quick to put into this one. And I have some bread. Here's another really pretty ranch. So let me just trim this one up real quick and we'll add this one in there. I am so excited to see what Mama Hall is going to do. And Christy always does such great stuff on her page. Yeah, so she's always the caboose. And I love that. So we'll fold this up and we'll put this one in, and then we'll see if we can sew them in. We see if we can sew them in. And I think I'm going to reverse this one so that way they will match. Okay. So we have our two signatures. And like I said, I'm okay that they're going to stick out because they are going to stick out. And I'm totally okay with it because we're going to add that lace. If I wasn't adding the lace, then there's no way I would do that. So I got my little box of tricks here, and we're just going to get our clips. I don't need this anymore right now, so I'm going to move that out of my way. I'm trying to not glue on it. And my glue bottle is done, so let me just throw that in the trash. And we're just going to put some clips on here because we've got half of pages and half of this page and half of that page. I got this book, like I said, I can't even tell you how old the book is because the title page was missing off of it. And if I remember right, I think, gosh, Jamie, did I get these books from you? Did you find these books and send them to me? If you're still on. Or I either got them from Jamie or I got them from Jimmy Lou, but I can't remember. Somebody help me, tell me. So here's my 3 alls. Isn't that crazy when you can't remember stuff like that? That's what happens when you get old. You start forgetting things. And I can't even see comments anymore, so I don't know if anybody's seeing me or not. So, let's see. I don't have my iFollowage's Anchor Art Creations. I'm gonna try and do that when I see Miss Jimmy Lou at her when we're at the hotel. I was gonna see if she could help me set that up. So we have this one, and we're going to punch some holes through. And I'm just going to find my middle and punch that hole through there. And I don't think I have a 1.5 inch. I have a 2 inch, and that's not going to help me. That will not help me, or will it? Let's see. It might help me line it up, but then I'm going to have to take it out. But that's okay, I can take it back out. I just want to make sure that I'm on the top and on the bottom straight. Feels like I am down a little. That's okay. There's a good spot. So I am gonna punch it in there, but I will take it out. Don't worry about it. Hi Kathleen, how are you? Thank you for coming in. My name is Liz, and I'm grateful that you're here watching this event. Did you find me from Jimmy Lee, from the Junk Journaling Jamboree? Or sometimes I love to find out how people found my page. I think it's neat because I think it's fun when people share, or kick out. We say kick out my cow patties because we're on a cattle ranch, and I need my cow patties gone. Okay, so that looks pretty close to being lined up. It could come over a little bit. So I am going to move it over because the fabric will heal itself. So I'm just going to take that out. And now I have the hole, so I don't even need this anymore. And I'm just going to move myself up like a 1/2 inch. And the fabric will heal itself, so you don't have to really worry about that. You just want to get it straight. Now, if I was doing this with paper, paper won't heal itself. So you can't really change your mind when you're doing it with paper. But with fabric, the fibers from the fabric will heal, and you won't even be able to see the hole. So there we go. I'm happier with that. And you can't even see, well, you can see a little bit there, but by the time we're done, you won't even be able to see it. So now let's get our fabric, and I'm going to go with a beige because this paper is beige, and most of the fabric in there is beige. And I think this is the one I'm going to pick. I say beige, but it's kind of like a bronze color. So I think that's the one I'm going to pick. I'm just going to pick this needle. So who's watching, who's going to the retreat? Is anybody that's on right now going to the Messy Crafters retreat? So I can give hugs out. I'm even so excited to see people that, on my way, I'm stopping and seeing people. And I'm so excited about that. And I'll be back on tomorrow at 2 o'clock Central Time. And I'll either be working on this one or I'll be working on the other 1800s book that I'm working on. So one or the other. I might be working on this one because it'll probably still be sitting on my desk. Linda, you're going to be there? Oh, cool. I can't wait to give you a hug. So we got that in there. And then you can either go in through the center or you can go in through the back, just depending on where you want your ties or whether or not you're putting beads on or anything like that. So I'm just taking my center all out and I'm pushing this one through. And I know I had my handy dandy pliers. And then I normally go up from the bottom. I don't know why. Some people go up from the top. It doesn't even matter. You just need to go to one or the other. And I'm holding on really tight. And I have to go through 2 pieces of cardboard, so I might need to go back in with my awl. Let me see if I can get it back in there. I didn't give myself a very big hole to go through. Remember, we put 2 pieces of, because that spine was so bad, we put 2 pieces of chipboard in there. So I'm just going to pull that. And then I'm going to go ahead and make sure I gave myself a pretty good hole on that one. And then we'll go out this side. Ooh, that one went good. And then we'll go back up to the center. Maybe. That's our goal anyways. And it does not want to go through there again. I think I needed a different needle. All right. We're through that one anyways. It's hard getting old. It's tough getting old, especially when they have like arthritis. That's no fun. And then all I want to do is make sure that I have one side on one side of this and one on the other side of this center string. And we're through, so I'm going to take my needle out so I can pull. And I just want to make sure it's tight. I could have probably gone with the blue, because there is blue on the spine, but I'm okay with it being tan, or this, it's kind of a bronzy color. So I'm just gonna tie that. I'm gonna tie one more knot, just for fun. And then we can take these off. And we get to do this one more time. Oh, we're out of time. I'll see you guys later. Go watch Mama Hall. Bye.